Birthday Hawa, birthday Hawa Shai, birthday Hawa, birthday Hawa Shai. Call all you Hawa, Allahai now Yahweh Shem Shai, Shem Kokodas. Bless you, Most High Yahweh, and bless you in the name of the only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, in the name of the Spirit Holy. All praises, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh Shem Shai, Shem Kokodas. And giving double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone. Well, peace and salutations to elect. Shem Yahweh from the Great Millstone Plaintables Camp of Philadelphia. Coming with another wee lesson. This is here off of live now from Fox, and then of course in the press. And Donald Trump, he speaks ahead of the NATO summit departure, and he had some statements concerning the state of Israel and Iran. Okay, now if you go into Donald Trump, he had issued some statements on, I believe, Twitter about a ceasefire on both sides, and with Iran and Israel, but things didn't go according to as what he wanted it to go. All right, by side at, of course, hand. Now we'll just play it here. Fair use warning: this is for educational purposes only, and this is not for any monetary gain at all. Fair use warning.
President, the leader just woke up to a new dawn because of Mr. President,
I don't think so, but I'm not happy that Israel's going out now. There was one rocket that I guess was fired overboard. It was after the time limit, and it missed its target. And now Israel's going out. These guys got to calm down. Ridiculous. I didn't like plenty of things I saw yesterday. I didn't like the fact that Israel unloaded right after we made the deal. They didn't have to unload.
Well, if anybody know anything about Edomites, Edomites are ones whom, as the scriptures say, hate instruction. Okay, so giving instruction to an Edomite, even from another Edomite, that could be sometimes like pulling teeth. All right, let me see. This is in the book of Psalms real quick. And if you go into the history of Esau, the spirit that's within Esau, the spirit that's within Cain, same spirit. There are people that don't listen, okay, even if given instruction. All right, so this is gonna be Psalms 50 and verse 17, and it says, seeing thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind thee. Okay, the Edomites hate instruction. Okay, period. What is instruction? Instruction is of course going into correction. Okay, chastisement, even just instruction straight. All right, doctrine. All right, Esau hate instruction. He sends his words behind him. All right, simple. Shalak. The Barya. All right, the Lord's words. So if he would do it to the Most High, of course he would do it to his own divided house. Okay, and that's why it's not standing. Okay, at this time we're gonna see the whole house of Israel fall. Okay, so go back to this.
And I didn't like the fact that the retaliation was very strong. But in all fairness, Israel unloaded a lot. And now I hear Israel just went out because they felt it was violated by one rocket that didn't land anywhere.
And like I say, they really want this war, all right? Which is the Most High mustering the host to the battle, okay? To lead, of course, America, the Northern Army, you know, into, of course, the regions, okay? And as we know, Joel tells us, okay, with the EC, as we know, because we only speak prophecy here at Great Millstone. So Joel 2:20 says, "But I will remove far from you the Northern Army," all right, being the U.S. military, "and I will drive him into a land barren and desolate, with his face towards the East Sea." Okay, the East Sea, okay, being that'll be the river Euphrates, and his hinder part towards the utmost sea being the Red Sea, okay, and that desert and territory parameters, okay. And his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he hath done great things. All right, and it's going to be a lot of Mawath in that region. And you know, the Lord mustering the host of the battle, putting the spirit on these different leaders, you know, to retaliate and, you know, and get to World War III. All right.
That's not what we want, I'll tell you. And I'm telling you, I'm not happy about that, Israel, either. All I do is play both sides. I'm going now, as you know, to NATO. Some of you are going with me, and I think it's going to be successful. We'll see. I'll let you know.
Are you going to be the agreement between you, Don, in the Middle East, thanks to the agreement you managed to achieve? What are your future plans for the region, for Saudi Arabia, Israel, Gaza, the hostages?
Look, you're asking me about women in the Middle East. It's getting a lot better. Things are happening at a high level. As you know, Saudi Arabia's done a really good job. It's coming out far faster than I thought. So we're very happy about what's happening with women in the Middle East.
No, I'm talking
And that's democracy spreading, you know, because more so, and women are getting more rights, okay, where, you know, they would be, you know, restricted, you know, in many respects, okay. You know, not having the ability to drive, in these different Ishmaelite nations and such, okay. Where in the East, you know, women are subject to men, but now with democracy, you have it, you know, women are more compassionate than man, okay. You know, and that's the due, of course, wickedness being perpetuated in the earth. All right, the Lord created a new thing. All right. All right, woman compassion a man. Okay, so this is Jeremiah chapter 31:22. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter, where Yahweh hath created a new thing in the earth? A woman shall sabab or compass thy sawabab in the Hebrew. Gabar, which is going into a man, a warrior, okay? Strong men, okay? And that would be unheard of, okay? Now, prior, where women were, you know, unable to speak, you know, and do these things, now democracy has given them power. You know, women's liberation, power.
So a new dawn in the Middle East that you managed to achieve last night.
Yeah.
You know, the region is going to a new place with this agreement. Can you tell us what's your future plans for Gaza, for the hostages?
It's a new dawn. I appreciate the question. You're very nice. Who are you?
Thank you. I'm Maria Cross from Israeli Collaboration News.
Well, we have to have Israel calm down because they went on a mission this morning. I got to get Israel to calm down now.
Did you get to speak with the Prime Minister? Did you talk to Prime Minister Netanyahu last night?
I speak to everybody.
And this is how Esau is doing. Like, Esau is, you know, he's back against the fence. You know, he's trying to be the peacemaker, the president being a peacemaker, but, you know, it's a lot of confusion going on, all right? Give me one moment. Psalms 58:2. Yeah, in heart or in mind ye work wickedness, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. Esau is doing that, you know, with having this military ability and might. Okay. You know, he's even talking with NATO, do NATO and such efforts and such. That does bring different terrorists to different places, okay, with different missions, okay. You have it. This is Psalms 58:6. It says, break their teeth, O power, in their mouth, break out the great teeth of young lions, O Yahweh, okay? And Yahweh B'Shem El Shai is going to break the teeth of the wicked, where they're unable to, you know, push these different missions throughout the earth, because the Lord's going to put them down, all right? And going to light out the candle of the wicked, all right?
You urge both sides not to violate the ceasefire, but reports coming from the region suggest that the sides accuse each other for violating the ceasefire. So
I think they both violated it. I don't think I'm not sure they did it intentionally. They couldn't rein people back. I don't like the fact that Israel went out this morning at all, and I'm going to see if I can stop it. So as soon as I get away from you, I'm going to see if I can stop it, okay?
Trump is very, and the arrogancy, it's amazing. Trump is he's straight up.
I think it's been completely demolished. I think the reason we're here is because those pilots, those B-2 pilots, did an unbelievable job. And, you know, the fake news, like CNN in particular, they're trying to say, well, I agree that it was destroyed, but maybe not that destroyed. You know what they're doing? They're really hurting great pilots that put their lives in the line. CNN is scum, and so is MSDNC. They're all, and frankly, the networks aren't much better. It's all fake news, but
all those networks are owned by pretty much the same body, entity of media, the Edomites that control it. Okay? It's only through the alternative media a lot of times that you get, you know, the true stories that's really going on. Okay? Everything's being filtered and such.
They should not have done that. Those pilots hit their targets. Those targets were obliterated, and the pilots should be given credit. They're not after the pilots, they're after me. They want to try and demean. Iran will never rebuild its nuclear. From there? Absolutely not. That place is under rock. That place is demolished. The B-2 pilots did their job. They did it better than anybody could even imagine. They hit late in the evening. It was dark with no moon, and they hit that target with every one of those things, and that place is gone. But when I see CNN all night long, they're trying to say, well, maybe it wasn't really as demolished as we thought. It was demolished. You take a look at the pinpricks. and you see that place is gone. And I will say, I think CNN ought to apologize to the pilots of the B-2s. I think that MSDNC ought to apologize. I think these guys really, these networks and these cable networks are real losers. You really are. You're really.
So everybody scrutinized even E, okay, on what's going on. All right. There's major scrutiny on E in these times. All right. And it's amazing. This is Obadiah chapter 1 and 6. It says, "How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up?" Okay, and it's searched out through prophecy. Okay, the prophets, you know, of course, light. The Lord ultimately exposing everything's being done in darkness. Okay, and Esau doesn't like that. All right. Definitely don't like it. This is Obadiah chapter 1 and 15. It says, "For the day of Yahweh is near upon all heathen, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head." All right, so you know, just how, you know, we been put on the scrutiny of Jake, an Israelite, is looking under scrutiny if he telling the truth. Now, hey, you have to play, you know, being scrutinized, and there's a microscope being put on you. You know, you going under a thorough search, okay, or examination. You know, so I'm gonna leave it at there. You know, scriptures talk about shameful spewing being on the glory of Esau, Edom, and you know, we're just seeing how they're on the fence. So shalom to the elect.